Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome back to another series of Zombicide unboxing videos for classic or the original Zombicide. These are the special guest boxes. So for each one, we're going to go through them separately as different videos. Just so if you only want to look at one, you can just pick out which one you want to look at. But each one typically has two new survivors created specifically or designed by one of these other artists. We have another one there as well. There's the John Kovlak has a little bit different, but then each one also contains the regular version and the Zombicide version. Now, some of these are just original cool survivors. Some of them are ones that kind of fit or theme maybe into other worlds that they've created. So they're very neat. So the common thing we'll get in all of them is we'll get our two oversized survivor ID cards. And then the back side will have the Zombvivor versions. So these are the classic ones. If you want to play 2.0, they do have the reboot pack, which does have the little tiny brand new cards, which some of these guys do have minor changes on those. I'm not going to go over them in this video. If that's something you'd like to see, I went through that pack in a previous video. You can always go look up that if you want to see those individual cards. But if you ever want to see a comparison, I can possibly do it, but I'm not going to go through each one of these because it's just a lot of extra work. For mostly the part being, they dropped abilities that don't exist in 2.0 anymore. And I'll try and mention that. I'm just not going to pull up the other cards. The other thing you're going to get in the pack is you're also going to get 2 extra clips. Of course, these were to keep track of your adrenaline levels throughout the game. So you get those in each one. And if you're not familiar with what Zombvivor versions are, it's a special mode that for classic versions, so like for this, for example, we'll get 2 versions of this miniature. One's a regular and one's a zombie version. And then once your survivor dies, you can flip over their card and you can play as a zombie version of their character. Reselecting their abilities. They have slightly different abilities. They have more health. They have up to 5 health instead of the 2 or 3 that you start with. So they're a little bit more durable. Or you can always opt to just start with them. So that's the basis I just wanted to go over for each video will be that way. Then we'll go ahead and hop into these one at a time. And I'll have the link for the description for each one in the videos for all one. So if you've watched one, you want to jump to the other one quickly, you can do that. Alright, let's get started. Alright, our special guest box is Miguel Coimbra. Hope I did pronounce that right. So yeah, here we're going to get some interesting new characters. We have Kevin, the undercover cop. And then we have Peach, the queen of the prom. Which I'm going to say, like, these are, like, not, like, way out there ones. Like, some of the other boxes we get are... guest spots are kind of like ones from like their world, or they're kind of like from the creator's world or something like fiction they've done. These don't feel like they would generally be straight Zombicide characters, but I don't think we've ever had, not that I can recall, I don't know if we had a cheerleader or an undercover cop. I know we've had cops before, but I don't think an undercover cop. Yes, this would be kind of a little bit interesting to look at. So let's go ahead and look at their miniatures here and their sheets. So we're going to start with Peach, the cheerleader. So let's go ahead and look at her miniatures there. If the camera would like to focus for me, that would be awesome. It's like this red color seems to always have trouble. Yeah, so there she is. She's hanging out in her little chair. She has little pom-poms. Little ponytail. She's carrying this big old double shotgun. I'm not really sure what that is. It's always some sort of shotgun. It's also kind of funny, right? Shooter walking around with a shotgun. Then if we flip over to her Zombvivor version, this has been one of my favorite weapon changes. Lots of times they switch from, like, they'll drop, like, one weapon, so she still has her shotgun, but now she switched it over to a melee weapon. And you're gonna beat people with the handle. Of course, she dropped her pom-poms, but her shirt and stuff is all torn. And it's really hard to kind of tell in some of the miniature form. But then they have her picture there as well. Of course, yeah, you can't really tell as much, though, especially like her shirt is really tattered and falling off. This is, of course, classic Zombicide when they did do a little bit more, kind of sexualization of some of the characters. They did tone it down as sex went along. What does Peach have for us? She has 2 blue abilities, which is not very common, but there's a good reason for that. She starts with Jump. Makes sense for a cheerleader, right? She can move around. Use the skill once during each activation. The survivor spends 1 action to move 2 zones in which they have line of sight. Skills like moving extra zone or slippery are ignored. But movement penalties like having zombies still apply, so she can't jump out of room areas of zombies without paying the extra. But what it does, it lets you ignore all other actors, which are zombies or other survivors, all barricades, holes, anything like that. So she can jump over barricades. She can't jump over a door or through a door that way, but it can get her over a horde of zombies or over a hole, or if you make a barricade, she can go over it rather than go around. So it does give her some other different options for different playstyles depending on what map tiles you're using. Then fast roping has to do with the Rue Moore set, which had helicopters. So what it does is if someone's riding along in a helicopter, fast roping lets them slide down the rope and drop wherever, as opposed to everyone else has to wait until the helicopter lands. So lets them get out and move. That kind of makes sense. She's gymnastics. She's probably used to doing the rope climb in the gym. So that's pretty a neat little extra thing there. Then in orange, she has 1 free range action or +1 max range. Extra range is always nice. And then in red, 1 free combat action, +1 free move action, or slippery. Slippery let her move without having to pay additional penalties for moving around. So that can actually work well with jump, because then now she can get out of the way of zombies without having to pay extra. Although, yeah, she has move and combat, so it does give her a little bit of extra options towards the end on how you want to play her. Very cool. Fast roping is not available in 2.0 because there's no helicopter mechanic. So if they ever add that, I wonder what they'll do with that. Then we flip to her Zombvivor version. She keeps her jump and fast roping in blue. Yellow, she now has 1 free ranged action instead of any action. In orange, she has +1 max range. She kept that, but now she has hit and run. Hit and run means anytime you defeat a zombie, you are allowed a free move action. And you not spend extra actions to move away. So this can be very helpful. Like, if you take out the last zombie, you can use it to move maybe towards the new ones, or even if you take out one, regardless, start moving towards the next group. Maybe running through a group of zombies. Boom, take out this group. Boom, take out that group. Or you can always use it as a good escape tactic. At least I defeated 1. I didn't defeat the 3 that I wanted to. But then you could back away, and then if she has range, this can also help her get some extra distance and shoot at guys. And then they can keep coming towards her. In red, 1 free combat action, point blank, and slippery. With point blank, which she fires at range 0, so as long as she has a weapon that lets her. Some only start at range like 1. She can freely choose targets in the ranged combat and can kill any type of zombie. So basically, it turns your ranged weapons into melee weapons for all intents and purposes. Because when you're melee, you just select who you're targeting. Point blank lets you do the same thing. Just with ranged weapons. But again, they have to be melee ranged. So that's pretty cool. So she's going to be able to move around a bunch, and then she kind of wants to be at range. So it's good for her to dig away and do the hit and run tactics. Alright, up next we have Kevin, who's our undercover cop. Wielding some double guns. So we got non-red models. You can actually see the details. The red just kind of didn't work for us. I think they started going to the tan color because it's just easier to see what they look like. But yeah, you got this big old puffy coat too. I actually like that. It's a neat little choice of clothing, just because you don't, again, see all these. Then when he goes zombie, he drops one of his gun. His coat, it's still on there, but it's all tore up. He's got some spikes in him. Lost his baseball hat. Still got his medallion, though. Kept hanging on to that. So yeah, there's his zombified version. He's got some spiky sticking out of him. So alright, what does Kevin do for us? Kevin gets to taunt. Taunt will let you choose a zone with zombies in it from a line of sight that you can see. Gives them all a free activation to try and move towards you. Again, you could be 3, 4, 5 spaces away. But it's really helpful because what it does is they ignore all other survivors, whether they would be in the zone with them, they would walk through them, they don't stop and attack them. They're just trying to get to you. It can be great to, again, pull zombies off of your survivor allies, or you can set up traps with it. You can pull them like closer to like in range of a melee character or a ranged character, so they don't have to spend extra actions to move. You could pull them into a zone where then maybe if you move, now they don't have line of sight to anybody, or pull them into an area, into a group of another zombies and molotov both groups at the same time. So fun stuff there. With Orange, he has +1 guy for combat, and Tough lets him ignore the first point of damage he would take each turn. So that can just be very helpful, especially kind of taunt, so you can taunt guys at a closer distance if they happen to get to you. Not as big of a deal. And then Red, 1 free melee action, 1 free move action, or +1 die roll for range. So kind of what do you need him to do, right? Is as an extra die for combat, it's going to be range or melee. And then when you get to the end, either you can give him extra melee or extra dice roll for range, or plus die roll for range. You can give him a bonus on either melee or range, or you can have him be a mover. So kind of where do you want him to be? It's a little bit of everything. If we flip to his Zombvivor version, he keeps his taunt. In yellow, he gains 1 free ranged action, so to kind of push him into the ranged area there. In orange, he has +1 die for combat, and he has regeneration. Regeneration at the end of each game round, discard all wounds the survivor received. Doesn't work if they've been eliminated. So if he only has, obviously these guys, Zombivors have 5 health, so if he takes 5 damage, he's defeated. He takes 6 damage, he's defeated. But if he has 4, he can recover all 4. So it's kind of like Tough, but now he can take more damage. In red, he has 1 free melee action, +1 die roll for range. So he keeps both of them. He loses his move action, but he gains Zombie Link. So anytime a zombie card is drawn that says extra activation, he gets a full extra turn. So he gets this thing, he can do some extra action, some extra attacking, try to eliminate them, especially before they get to do their extra activation. Could be very helpful. Plus he has taunts, right? He can always taunt them guys, knowing that they're going to activate. He could taunt them into a different position. Again, maybe pull them around a corner, so then maybe now they don't have line of sight, so when they're activating, they're going to go towards a noise versus a particular person. You know, lots of different stuff there. Or pull them away from someone so they don't immediately attack them. Now they have to spend your free activation moving back to that guy. Some really cool stuff there. Yeah, so the combination of these two is you can kind of see where I think they're kind of be more of a ranged combo together. They can sit there and Kevin can sort of like maybe bring zombies into range of Peach, and then she can use her ranged attacks to start taking them out. Or if she starts getting overwhelmed, he can maybe pull them off. He can maybe take some hits for her. But yeah, they'd be a very interesting combo. Alright, that was Miguel Coimbra. Hope I did say that right again. So very interesting, different things. Yeah, if you're looking for some new abilities or just some interesting new characters that would really, I think, fit thematically in, visually a little bit more in with some of the other guys. You got some guys, again, that look very fantasy-like or cartoony-ish. These guys, I think, fit very well into the theming. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.